You're looking live at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. Dylan Jones and Dave Washington, the only two drivers who have survived the grueling NoBull chase for the Cup. One of them will walk out of here tonight with the title of NoBull Cup champion as the NoBull Cup Series culminates here at the World Center of Racing. I'm Ben Kilcrease alongside Andy Kessler to bring you all the action tonight. Cisco Scaramuza bringing the picture that you see to you. Carl Brown is on pit road tonight. Andy, Jones leads Washington by 9 points going into tonight. But we are at Daytona, where we have seen strange things happen in the past. What does Jones need to do to hold off Washington? And what does Washington need to do to grab yet another championship here in the Cup Series?
Well, in order, Ben, for Dave Washington to stop the onslaught of Dylan Jones and get his third straight championship, Dave Washington needs to win this race. He needs to go out. There's no bonus points. He needs to win the race. He needs to find a partner, preferably probably his partner in the 20. That would be Dylan Brockwell. If those two can hook up, get out front, then it's going to be all about managing their pit stops. As for Dylan Jones right now on a quest for his third straight title, he needs to find a partner, and he needs to stay in that top 10. A 10th place or better finish will guarantee him his third straight title. All right, well, Ben, with all this hype and all this about this championship, we're going to set it down now to pit road. We got Carl Brown now standing beside one of our drivers here in the Cup Series.
Hey, thanks, Andy. Yeah, I'm down here with Cup driver Kevin Ford. Kevin, new tire package tonight. Heard a lot, complaining about the, how it's running out there. Just give us a brief description of how you feel the car's going to be tonight.
Well, I think the straightaways feels great. I think on entry is where we're going to have a lot of issues. Diving down into the apex of the corner, the nose wants to push. It's almost like we've lost some downforce on the right front end of the car. But other than that, I think it feels very good. But it's going to be interesting on entry, especially if we're 2 and 3 wide here in the first few laps of the race.
All right. Well, thanks for your time there, Kevin, and good luck in the race tonight. About to send it down the track side now for our national anthem, sung by Denise Hutchison.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Crank them up. Fired up. Hi, bud. Fired up. Fired up. Crank it up. Crank it up. Fired up. We have a good time for this. Keep your eyes out up there, Dylan.
On behalf of iRacing Motorsport Simulations and NoBull Motorsport, welcome to Daytona International Speedway for the season finale in the NoBull Cup Series. This is going to be a spectacular race here tonight. 90 laps, a grueling long race. We got to take our time. Here's the thing, Andy. We do have one reset, but with the bump drafting and the tandeming, a small bump could take your reset out on the first lap, leaving you at strike, or leaving you enabled to be in a big collision with damaging circumstances at the end of the race when it counts most.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Ben, and take that into consideration. Take consideration, like Carl mentioned earlier, the new tire mod. Kevin was just saying how these cars tend to push up. It seems like they lost some downforce, so we're in for, I think, quite an interesting treat here tonight. And, go figure to make the finale at Daytona. I mean, just throw a wild card race in there. Anything can happen, and and you got two guys within reasonable striking distance of this championship, and man, we're in for a good treat as far as I'm concerned.
All right, here we go. It's time to run them through the starting lineup and some very close times in qualifying here tonight. Rodney Kramer is going to set the pole in the number 6 with a time of 46.813. Mitch Lennon's going to be to his outside in the number 5.
Rolling off third tonight in the 24 would be Sean Bounty, and starting on his outside in the 92, that's Brian Terry.
Corbin Hemstreet will be inside of row 3, 5th starting position in the 41. Brian Neff is in the 60 to his outside.
Starting 6th in the 60, starting 7th in the 18th will be Todd Witowski, and to his outside in the number 20, Dylan Brockwell.
Kevin Ford is in the 32. We talked to him. He's 9th, and Ryan Libby sits 10th in the 46. Here we go, Andy. It's going to be time to talk to the guys that is in the championship race. We'll get to the rest of the field here momentarily. Dylan Jones. This is Ben and Andy up on the broadcast booth. You got a copy.
Hello, Dylan. This is Andy and Ben in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do. How's it going?
Well, it's going good. You got to be a little bit excited, a little bit nervous here to finish the season out at Daytona, a wild card track. Anything can happen. Anything usually does happen. But for the most part, you're sitting on top. You got the points lead. You talked about that last week, how you'd rather be in the lead than chasing. So what's the strategy like for you tonight here?
Well, you always try to enter Daytona with a strategy, but it usually never pans out. I'm going to try to run at the back, but we'll see what happens.
Well, running at the back, you're obviously going to have to get a partner eventually. You got to finish 10th or better. Size up your chances here tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely my goal. Probably not going to go for the win, just go for keeping all the fenders on the car and get what we need.
Well, there you go, Dylan. Good luck the rest of the way, and maybe we'll talk to you later on here as our champion.
Of course. Hopefully it's a good show.
That's Dylan Jones. Here we go. Let's talk to Dave Washington. Dave, make Kill Crease up on the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy, loud and clear.
All right, Jones said he's going to ride at the back here at the beginning of the race. What's going to be your strategy to try and get up there and win this championship away from him?
Yeah, it's 90 laps. I'm going to stay in the back with him and just keep next to him for a little while until me and Brock will try to break away.
Well, Dave, 9 points back. You know what you have to do. Are you going to be strategy-wise? You're going to be looking for your teammate when the time comes.
Oh yeah, definitely look for my teammate later on in the race. Right now, we're just going to kind of ride and stay out of the trouble.
10-4. That's Dave Washington. Dave, good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully, we'll talk to you later on. Victory Lane or our champion.
Thanks, guys.
They head through turn number 4. The race For the Cup is not over yet, and we're nowhere near to ending this race in front of us tonight. 90 laps in the season finale here in the NoBull Cup Series. The pace car hits pit road, and they'll stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. Who's gonna leave Daytona as the champion?
It's going to be real interesting, Ben, to watch these first few laps to find out how these tires are going to react and how these drivers are going to get it done.
Whole field still side by side down into turn number 1, 2 by 2. Kramer has a slight advantage on the inside as Boundy is right there tucked up behind him. Terry and Lennon work the outside down the back straightaway.
We've seen that tandem on the outside there work together before and have some great success. Mitch Lennon now, he's right there on the front bumper of Brian Terry. Looks like Brian Terry enters the corner a little bit high, separates himself. That's going to give the advantage to Kramer and Bounty as they pull away on the bottom.
Thought Neff was going to stick his nose in, make it 3 wide. These guys are really complaining about the cars washing up as they enter the corners, and we'll have to watch for that tonight as Rodney Kramer.
Brian Terry up to the high side, gets a little bump from Brian Neff. That's going to slide those guys back a little bit into the clutches. Mitch Lennon now all by himself on that high line. He's got to look for a way to duck in as now Bounty looks to take a piece of the lead with Corbin Imstreet pushing.
Imstreet, Witkowski. All 3 of those guys are going to try and work the outside. Witkowski tags the wall down in 3 and 4 is Sean Boundy, your new leader. He stays on the outside to help him street clear Kramer. Can they do it on the front stretch? They do. New leader lap 2. It's Sean Boundy.
Now you can see that momentum lost by the 18 right there. Just a slight scrape of the wall. He's going to lose a whole bunch of positions. Falling back even further as we go here with no help on that outside lane.
Oh, Chad Osborne got to the wall right in front of championship points leader Dylan Jones. Now Jones is losing the draft. Jones is losing the draft here on lap 3 at Daytona.
Not a good thing to lose the draft here, especially if this thing has the makings for going green for a long time now. Dylan Jones, I'm sure he's going to have some help. Somebody's got to back up there and give him a hand. But right now, your top 5 guys are splitting away now from Dylan Rockwell at the turn 4.
Yeah, they are. They're single file. Look at Lennon. He's going to try and get a little racy, trying to step to the outside. Nobody wants to go with him, so he'll fall back in line. No, Kramer says, hey, I'll go with you. I want the lead back.
Kramer ducks to the outside. He's going to lose a position to the 32. That's Kevin Ford, who we talked to earlier. Now Mitch Lennon, he's going to go to the inside. Kramer's just going to stay on the outside. Now that bottom freight train, here they come. All single file all the way back to 12th.
Kramer might have wanted to just drop back to the back here. We'll see what he does. Look at Lennon down into turn 3. He sneaks a peek to the outside of Ford. Imstreet in second. He looked like he was going to go up the track. Down the front stretch, look at Mitch Lennon all by himself, hanging on the outside of Kevin Ford at the line.
Had such a great run and nowhere to go and no one to use it with. Mitch Lennon now trying to see if he can poke his nose back into that freight train. Looks like he's got a spot right there. Brockwell gave him a chance to get back in there. Lennon's going to drop back down in line now. Still single file almost all the way through the whole field.
Only car that is double file now, he'll get single file, is Rodney Kramer. Whole field, till nose early on here at Daytona International Speedway. And Andy, I have yet to see a tandem start to break away from either the front pack or the middle pack. It's kind of a whole big pack now, but we have not seen any tandems get hooked up this early on.
No, we haven't seen any tandems, but, I think everyone's just really nervous about this package they got here and the lack of downforce on that front nose bend, and nobody wants to push the issue this early and maybe have a chance to ruin their points positions, even if they're not going for that championship.
85 laps to go. Everybody works the bottom side of the speedway. We just had an update today, our quarterly update from the iRacing.com Motorsport Simulations. No green, white checkers were not included, but tire changes to the Gen 6 were. And that is what has really got these guys on the edge of their seats. They're kind of iffy as to what they want to do here in the early going. They're trying to get comfortable. This is almost like the Daytona 500 a couple years ago when the new Gen 6 cars made their first appearance. Everybody didn't know what was going to happen there. Same thing here. They don't know what these new tires are going to do on the later runs, so that's what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and get a run in, and once we get that first run in, I think the second go around, these guys are going to be more comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what, honestly, I don't even think these tires are going to wear that much. As we see the 44, Andrew Gradenberg step to the outside. He's going to lose a ton of position now. A quick update with the championship leader. He's running ninth right now behind James Ross. As Dylan Jones has fallen way back, 2.5 seconds back, but it looks like Brian Terry has actually gone back to rescue.
That he has. Mylan Lacey had an incident with Eric Riva down in turn 4. He almost made contact, almost turned the 74 backways. They were able to keep it off of each other and keep it straight. Is everybody still single file? Brandenburg, the only one. Double file. He's side by side with Lacey now to the back stretch as he's falling all the way back to the train. He wants to be the caboose here at Daytona.
Not the worst place to be, I guess, when you're not too sure about the tire model. As Riva now watching up the track, tries to go back down the bottom side, but Kramer has a great run. He's going to get around him. Now Riva's going to fall back in line there, but it just looks like these cars just have no grip at all, really, Ben. And, honestly, maybe when the tires wear out, we'll see a little bit different racing, but only time will tell on that one as we're working lap number 9.
Yeah, we was talking to some of the drivers earlier, and they said, hey, we're almost having to lift going into the turns. These things are pushing so bad.
Man, whoever heard of lifting?
At Daytona. We mentioned the update earlier, our IRTPO, which is the TV overlay. It gives you the ticker, it gives you all the information that you need during the race. That is also currently unavailable due to the recent update, because iRacing gets it updated and the developers over at iRacing TV Overlay not have time to update it in time for tonight's event. So that is why you do not see any overlays tonight. We apologize for that. We hope to have that fixed before tomorrow.
Well, if that's the case, man, let's give him a run through the order right now. Sean Bounty is taking the lead on lap number 2. Hasn't looked back right now. Corbin Himstreet's running second. Kevin Ford in that 32 is running third. Side by side for fourth, we got Dylan Brockwell and the 5 of Mitch Lennon. Mitch Rolo's right behind them in the 99, and right to his outside there's Brian Neff running 7th with James Ross 8th. 9th, Todd Witkowski, and the 46 of Ryan Libby rounds out top 10.
Dave Washington sits 11th. Eric Riva sits 12th. 13th, give it to Mylan Lacey. Chad Osborne 14th. Then it's Terry, Jones, Kramer, and Brandenburg.
Now you can see these cars even on the front stretch on the trial, man, getting really loose. We just saw Brockwell do it a minute ago. The 46 of Libby got loose there on the trial. So here comes a battle now. We're going to have a battle for the lead. These guys are starting to get racing now. These tires must be feeling somewhat good as you got Mitch Lennon with a little help from Brian Neff, and they're going for the lead here off of turn number 4.
These guys were working in practice. I watched them all the way through practice, and if they could have worked qualifying together, they would have done that as well. They're charging. They're side by side with the second position. Lennon's going to fall back in the tri-oval just a little bit, but they're going to try and regain and push through turns 1 and 2. We are 11 laps down. 79 laps to go. Carl Brown is down on pit road. What are you hearing from the crew chiefs down there, Carl?
Yeah, I've talked to several of the crew chiefs. Even with this new tire mod tonight, in these cars, they're still playing the old strategy here at the plate track. They're only planning on doing tires on a caution. So it's going to be interesting to see how these tires are going to end up holding out over a long run with them not changing them.
That's certainly going to be interesting. And Andy, you mentioned, Witkowski and Ross make contact. They keep it straight somehow. That could have been the big one right in front of chase contender and championship contender Dave Washington.
Yeah, and just lurking a couple cars behind him is the 11 of Dylan Jones. So, oh, snaps into the wall off of 2. Now they're going to go 3 wide with, it looks like Brockwell in the sandwich. Oh my goodness, that was a close one right there. Brockwell able to move to the bottom side. Now Nell Neff stuck on that high line. He's going to lose multiple positions.
These guys getting too racy too early here, and they're going to end up causing a collision like we just saw there. 2 close calls. And you see just how fast everybody noticed that. They'll fall into line, they'll go single file, and they'll get used to the draft in the car before they start getting racy again.
Yeah, look who's moving up through the field right now. It's Mitch Lennon, keeps falling back further and further behind. Got a little opening there for Eric Dollarriva. A good move, dropped down to the inside, but look at the tandem now, Ben. We've been talking about it for the last few weeks here. The 20 and the 10 have now finally found each other after poor qualifying effort by Dave Washington.
Ooh, boy, you know what that means. The Washwell duo, they are going to get hooked up. They get hooked up. Those 2 cars tail to nose. Scary fast. Look at Mitch Lennon. He keeps stepping out to the outside. And at the first couple of 1,000 feet after he steps out, he's able to pull up on those guys on the outside and make a little bit of advantage. But once we get about a lap in, he starts falling back. Look at him. No help up there from the number 5, and he's pulling side by side with Brockwell off turn 2. A good, strong car on the outside does Mitch Lennon have.
Oh gosh, yeah, almost a whole lap now. He's been side by side with Dylan Brockwell. Mitch Lennon, strong car on the outside. Definitely using that side draft to his advantage. As we see him still, he's actually pulling a slight advantage over Dylan Brockwell's ahead off of turn number 4.
Look at the run that Lennon is getting. Look at Jones pulling up behind him. Jones and Washington Championship contenders are side by side here at Daytona.
Side by side, that's the battle for 9th on the racetrack right now, as Mitch Lennon now has some help by the 11. Dylan Jones on the outside, but the bottom line now starting to really move off of turn number 2. Dave Washington able to clear the 5 of Mitch Lennon.
For the lead, sorry to cut you off, Andy. Corbin Hemstreet takes it on the backstretch. Kevin Ford trying to go with him, but he'll have to fall back on the line and sit 3rd. Hemstreet gonna lead this lap, maybe. Yes, Bounty's not gonna step out. Corbin Hemstreet gonna lead lap 16.
That could have been a product of some overheating there. It took a long time. We don't usually. Out of these cars before they need to change them, before they overheat, but we just went 16 laps, so we'll see what happens. If there's anything else, this could just be a product of taking turns here, leading some laps here at Daytona.
So we're starting to see a bunch of guys just pull out of line and fall back. You see James Ross in the 14 doing it, Mitch Lennon doing it. And here we go. We're actually having pit stops. Saw these guys while they were gearing down. The backfire coming out of the exhaust. That's a new update here that we got at iRacing. Here we go, Carl. They're heading your way. You got a pack of 4.
Yeah, these group guys right here, they've been racing together all night long. Pretty much teammates. Word from all their crew chiefs is fuel only.
So we'll wonder how long it'll be before the rest of the field starts to come down. Looks like everybody in this pack will stay out another lap. So those pack of 4 gonna be the only ones so far. Carl, interesting strategy there. These guys can make it quite a bit further than what they just went. What's the strategy? Are you hearing anything down there on pit road?
Yeah, they were. The crew chiefs were talking along with the spotters. It was starting to get a little dicey up there, and they just want to get all full sequence and just get all that pack so the big one does come, their cars are saved.
That's very interesting strategy, Andy, because look at this. The pack is catching Neff, and they're catching him. They're going about 20 mile an hour faster than he is down in turn number 2, and they're going to catch him past Neff. And then they're going to be able to catch the other guys pretty much with ease as well. So that strategy a little, I don't know what they was thinking.
A little out of the ordinary, let's put it that way. But I believe
good
from
on
this
paper.
point they can make it one more time, so on one more stop. So like Carl said, maybe Neff just lost the pack there with his buddies, and now he's paying the price.
So Neff gonna just fall back here. He might try and fall into line. Doesn't look like he's going to. So Corbin Hemstreet still your leader as we work lap number 21 here at Daytona International Speedway. Hey, Andy, what do you do anything after the Cup race?
Yes, Ben. Actually, we got quite a thing going on. I'm glad to see Milan out there on the track right now because he needs all the practice he can get. But yeah, we got a big race coming up tonight, Ben. Big one at Richmond.
The season finale in the Cup race, followed by the season opener in the Backmarker Tour. And there you see the interesting calamity that goes on in the Backmarker Tour. We needed a place for Andy and Milan, a place where they could race and be competitive. So the Backmarker Tour was created, and either Andy or Milan gonna get some wins this season, and one of them will be NoBull champion at the end of this thing. And we begin it tonight right after the Cup race, race number 1 at Richmond. And I tell you what, we had a little warm-up there, Andy, last Thursday. It was a race of the broadcasters. I was in Pontiac Slowstus. You were in the Legend. I think that was unfair. But
for me?
For me. Bunch of controversy in that race. I might have ended up on my side once, but it was all in good fun. If that's anything to preview for tonight, then we are going to be in for one
hell of a
show.
That Legend car again, put Milan in the Soltis.
I think you guys are going to like the car choice tonight. It's going to be interesting.
Doesn't matter what I'm in, Ben. We're going to make it happen.
All right, we shall see. We worked lap 25 here at Daytona International Speedway. Corbin Hemstreet is your leader. Sean Bounty sits second. Kevin Ford is third. Mitch Rollo is fourth. Todd Witkowski is fifth. Ryan Libby sits sixth. Seventh is Dylan Brockwell. Dave Washington is eighth. Eric Dallariva ninth. And Brian Terry rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, is this a protest race, Ben, or what? All this single file action?
You know, I don't know. I mean,
or is everyone just very nervous about what's going to happen? And You know what? Listen, these guys are riding it out, logging some laps, get to that first pit stop. That first pit stop for most of these guys is going to separate a lot of these guys. Some are going to have trouble getting on pit road. Some are having trouble getting off. So when that first pit stop rolls around, especially if it's under green, we're going to be we'll see a lot of different strategies. Maybe some guys taking tires, some not. You'll see some guys, like I said, coming out by themselves because their partner had some issues. It's going to be interesting to see, especially once that first round of pit stops goes down. We'll see what happens.
What we saw when they started going too wide, getting racy early on, Andy, they almost crashed 2 times in 2 laps. So these guys were watching that, and they're like, oh, maybe we need to just get more comfortable with the cars, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Look at Sean Bounty. He's actually going to go high here. Kevin Ford sticks his nose to the inside. Rolo goes to the outside with him, and here we go. Just as we say they're going to ride it out. Now we get racing up at the front, side by side for second. Rolo working the outside. Bounty now looks to the outside of Him Street. Battle for the lead in turn 1 here at Daytona.
They must have heard us talking, because here they are side by side for the lead. Bounty had a lot of help from Rolo. Rolo's actually now backed off of Sean Bounty as they enter turn number 1. Here comes that bottom line now, getting ahead of steam with, it looks like Kevin Ford pushing Corbin Hemstreet back to the lead with Wachowski now trying to take that sole possession of third.
Man, I wonder if that was planned from Bounty or not. He just stepped out of line and decided to go with it, and he's fallen back. Now he's going to be sitting 5th, and luckily, if he can even hang on to the top 5 position he has right now.
Yeah, because that bottom line's still stacked up right now. No hole for that 24 to drop in. Mitch Rolo, though, still on the outside, trying to give him some help there. They're just not getting the run they need. Bounty now tries a little side draft action off of the door of Dylan Brockwell. Dylan Brockwell now side by side with Bounty. Dave Washington looking on from behind.
Man, they really use the side draft to their advantage down the backstretch. Rolo gets right up on his bumper, sends him down into turn 3. Bounty can drop down if he wants to. Now it's too late. Still trying to work that outside.
Unbelievable side by side, Ben. Here we go. 2 laps now. We've seen these guys side by side, Dave Washington and Brockwell working together on that inside line. Right now they sit 5th and 6th as Sean Bounty now loses a drafting partner. He falls back now. Can he slide back down in front of Dollar Riva as Mitch Rolo gets in line behind Dollar Riva? Now Bounty's all by himself on that outside.
Rolo ditched him. He said, hey, you're going to have to find your own hole, or he might actually make the hole for him here. Bounty, does he fall in? Yes, he does.
Very slowly, but he did.
Yeah. M Street still your leader. Bounty thought about taking it away from him, and it backfired on him. As we complete 1/3 of the race, 2/3 remain here in the season finale.
A little bit of a battle there right behind these guys. That's the battle for 11th place. Dylan Jones on the outside of Chad Osborne. Chad Osborne trying to push Brian Terry back up to that lead tag. Jones all by himself on that outside. We heard him in the beginning of the race, Ben, just kind of riding it back and then wait till he has to do something to find out where Dave Washington is riding. And currently, right now, he's still in that bubble, still in that championship lead, but not by much.
It's very interesting to watch these guys work their way around here. Look at Libby. Libby goes high. Brockwell takes the inside away from him.
It's going to bump him up another spot, and Dave Washington.
These guys have got us stumped tonight.
Whoa, we got a battle on the backstretch right now. Osborne to the inside of Brian Terry, just forcing his way in there. Terry goes to the high side in front of Jones. He hits the wall in front of Jones. Now it's a real tight battle.
Neff almost stuck his nose in, and if he would have turned the championship leader. Heading into tonight, Jones unscathed, at least for now, as he is ahead of Terry and Neff.
A little bit of a scare for the championship points leader right now. Libby's still stuck on that high side there. He's going to lose another position. He's got room falling behind Osborne. Osborne now move him up another spot. That's going to put him up to 9. Chad Osborne with a good run here so far tonight.
Ooh, look at Brockwell. He sticks it to the inside of the 18. Brockwell looking to get the 3rd position down the front stretch. And we have some drivers spill off to the pits. Oh no, problems for Ryan Libby. He slides on the track and now he enters the pits, the grass, which is going to be a penalty for the 46.
Exactly what I said would happen once these green flag stops start going. But Carl, they're on pit road, a whole bunch of them. What are they doing?
There's a bunch of different strategies over here on the pit road. Got some taking 2 tires, some taking just fuel only, and one taking 4 tires. So it's an interesting mix on pit road here.
Speeding penalty for Sean Boundy. He loses multiple positions. Ryan Libby pulls it behind the wall. The field goes by Boundy on the outside down into turn 1.
Sounds like right now, Ben, that you're going to see your leaders coming into pit road this time by here. Corbin Imstreet, Kevin Ford, both of them calling out that they're going to be coming down pit road. Some more of your leaders coming down pit road. Of course, again, remember, Ben, no bonus points in the chase. So no points for leading laps or anything. So there's nothing on the line for these guys if they do stay out. Here they come. Here comes the 41 and the 32. They were leading. Carl, now they're heading your way.
Yeah, they're coming down. Corbin doing 2 tires, and I think Kevin Ford's going to follow suit.
So while those guys head to pits, Brockwell and Washington, that duo takes the lead. Eric Dallariva is right there as well with Witkowski and Lickett Jones, top 5 for the 11 here on lap 36.
Now here to come off turn number 4, the leaders now, the top 6 guys, single file, and they're going to stay out another lap here. So obviously fuel not an issue for these guys at the moment. Here working lap number 37.
Kind of wondering if these guys are trying to make it to that halfway point. 45 is halfway. We haven't had a caution. If we get a caution past halfway, these guys should be good on fuel, but that's only if we get a halfway caution. They're going to be cutting it close if they try and make it to halfway.
Yeah, it's going to be real close if they try to do it. That would give them a slight advantage. These other guys. The last time, those 3 guys right there are going to be teammates here in the Cup Series.
Yep, that's going to be hard to believe next season, seeing those guys on separate teams, but it'll be something we'll have to get used to.
Separate teams, but I'm sure you'll see them helping each other out until the last 5 laps of the race. So.
Oh, most definitely. Update on Mylan Lacey in the 88, your competitor later this evening, Andy. He lost a draft way back when and is almost, he's about to get lapped by the leaders here on lap 38.
Yeah, I think those guys coming in on pit road early there for that stop around lap number 20 really threw him off, and I think he actually got off the gas. And now look at him. Now he lost the draft, and now these guys, the pack is swarming now as he looks to the outside to let these lead guys go on the bottom.
Everybody gonna choo-choo down below him. Nobody gonna come in this time. They're still going to continue to stay out. We complete lap 39, begin work on 46 away from halfway.
I really don't think they're going to be able to have enough to make it that far, Ben, but we'll see what happens here as they come off of turn number 2. You got the top 6 guys now. It looks like the 92 is going to come down pit road. Here comes the 10. He's making his call out to the pit road. So pit road's going to get real busy here, Carl, and they're all heading your way. It's going to be interesting to see if anybody takes tires or if they just want to keep their track position with fuel.
Make their way down the pit road. Look at Witkowski in the 18 trying to gain some positions. Terry almost gets into Dallariva. Oh, Terry
hits Jones.
That'll be Jones's reset right there. That could prove crucial in the later part of this race. Carl Brown.
Yeah, coming down in, Brian Terry lost it, got in the side of Dylan Jones. Jones' crew isn't too terribly worried about the damage with them being in the back of the pack. All he's got to do is stay within the draft and he should be good to go. Everybody else, tires and out of the pits.
Dallariva spun. He spun the tires on exit. And look at Washington way down low. He says, we got to go. Go. Dallariva almost up onto the track. Remember, these guys have to wait. Look at Witkowski. Yeah. Witkowski said, hey, I'll use my flat track experience and pass you guys on the inside. That's what he did. He said, I got to get moving. I got to get moving now. Witkowski gets by Dallariva in Washington. And just as those guys were coming out of the pits, Andy, we saw the new leaders pass by.
That we did, Ben. That would be the one of the 5 and the 14 tandeming up. They made that early pit stop on lap number 20, stuck together, and here they are now leading this thing almost 6 seconds over third place.
Yep, so an interesting strategy from the 5 and the 14. Also on their strategy was the 60 and the 6. Didn't quite work out for those guys as good as it did for Lennon and Ross.
Yeah, Lennon and Ross just ultimately making a smart call right there. Obviously, they're going to have to pit again here. Probably been, I don't know, I would say about 20, 25 laps. So you'll see those guys to pit road way before these other guys that just got done with their stops.
Here's the thing. Lennon and Ross will both have to tank a full tank, while these guys can come in, get a splash, and get right back out. So that's, oh man, it's going to be close when it comes down to the final pit stop.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Every time we head to a cup race, it never fails. We always have a storyline, drama-filled, exciting race, and this one hasn't. They have been 3 wide, 5 deep, but this is certainly...
It's not over yet.
Yeah, it's not over yet, and it's certainly been drama-filled so far with the pit strategies and Jones and Terry making contact, the new build. No caution yet either, and we're just about to halfway.
Yeah, we're about lap away, I would say, by Mitch Lennon standards here. Brockwell now looking to the outside. I'm watching these guys see how well they can stick together. Brockwell's actually helping Dylan Jones right now to maintain that draft right now. Witkowski's trying to get around well, it's not the lap machine, but it might as well be Brian Neff. So he's trying to get around him. Neff almost gets loose there in the trial, but here comes Dave Washington now to the bottom side. He's got a little help from Dollarima.
Looks like wherever Neff and Kramer are out on the track, it looks like they always want to go to the back of the pack that they are in. That is a smart strategy from the 6 and the 60. Well, Andy, could you use a break?
Oh, man, we could use a break.
Yeah, I
the
think
bathroom's calling my name.
Oh, that must be a new app or something. Well, we'll go. No, I'll go download the new app. Andy will go use the toilet that's calling his name. We'll head to commercial, or you guys will head to commercial. We'll be right back here at Daytona International Speedway.
To the inside, he pushes up a little bit. They're side by side. Elliott with the lead off of turn 2. And then off of turn 4. Dave Elliott, are you kidding me? He wins here in Charlotte.
You know, I taught Tinny. God, my goodness, taught Tinny. We're back here at Daytona. We interrupted the commercial. I screamed trouble on Whisper, and everybody thought there was a caution. We got a joke around here. Let's talk about the Cancer Freeze 200 this Thursday night. Live right here on NoBull Network 1 for the Goodies Dash Series. 75 laps at Talladega Super Speedway in the National Cars. Those guys have the new tire model, a little bit more different drafting going on in the Dash Series. That's going to be an interesting race. Andy Kessler going to join me for the call of that one. Talladega Super Speedway, 75 laps, 200 miles, $50, no matter what, is going to go to Cancer Freeze. But if an Aegis Motorsports driver wins, they'll double that and send $100 to Cancer Freeze, and that is presented by Aegis Motorsports.
Hey Ben, did we ever get the actual tally of who's on that team? Because it seems in TeamSpeak that room is awfully busy a lot.
I think there's 17 drivers on Aegis Motorsports.
And how many are in the race? 18?
Yes, 18. You and the 11 are the only drivers at Aegis.
Yep. Unfortunately, I can't race.
Yeah, you're gonna be up in the booth with me. I think you'll enjoy looking down on the guys as far as looking through the windshield at them.
Yeah, they don't want me in that race because I'll end up winning the thing.
Yeah, yep, exactly. $50 in the books. We work on 51. 40 laps to go here at Daytona International Speedway. Another thing we're going to talk about, the Sim Racing Network going to make its debut next Wednesday night
for the NoBull Radio Show live on the Sim Racing Network.
Oh yeah, man. I love it when we bring out something new. Well, it's really not new except for a logo.
Yeah.
It's
in
still
the name.
us.
Leaders are heading your way, Carl.
Yeah, they doing that all sequence strategy here. Pitting here. This should be the last stop of the race. Word is still gas only from these two guys. Changing strategy at the last second. Two tires.
Those guys don't know what they're doing. They actually went 4 tires. And you know, Andy, that call probably came at the last moment there. These guys are already down pit road. They're having to fill up the car. Why not take 4 tires?
Why not? Maybe the tires are actually falling off for these guys here, which is very unusual for Daytona. Usually they can go the whole race with the same set. Which the crews like and the teams like because they don't spend a lot of money.
And that's why you see a sponsor like Doge going on a car at Talladega. So it's going to be Mitch Rollo, Corbin Hemstreet, is it Boomtown Sim they call themselves? The Boomtown Sim team leads the way here. Chad Osborne sits third in the double 3. Kevin Ford is 4th in a 32.
So it's interesting, watching, looking at some of the numbers there, Ben. Those front 2 guys that were the front 2 guys, Mitch Lennon, James Ross, came in lap 20. Got their pit stop early, get away from the mess, the chaos of the pack. End up with a lead, end up with about a 5.5-second lead when everybody made their stops. And then right before pit stops there, they actually gained on these guys and had about a little over 6 seconds of a lead. So the strategy working out pretty good for those 2 guys.
That it is. They're trying the tango sort of thing. And now look at this second pack back here. Jones, Brockwell, Washington, Dallariva, and Witkowski. You guys running a very interesting line. They're running what we call a qualifying line. Usually you see everybody hugging the other line. These guys certainly on the radio with one another. Spotters talking to each other. They run in high. They get the run down the banking whilst drafting. And that is how they are able to get the run and start making their way towards the rest of the field. And it looks like this whole front pack's going to come down pit road. And Carl Brown, they're heading your way.
Yeah, they're coming down as a group here. Last minute decision with Kevin Ford and Chad Osborne. They just wanted to stay right there with Corbin and Mitch. Call is 2 tires and fuel.
Looks like Rollo overshot his pit box there. Osborne goes with 4. He'll be a little bit further behind everybody else. So Hemstreet, Rollo, Ford, and Osborne. That's going to be the order, and Ford's going to spin out it. There was nobody behind him. I got too excited, but he did hit the wall. Kevin Ford hits the wall on the front straightaway. We are still green here at Daytona.
Oh, interesting. We'll have to see if we end up with a debris caution here, man.
So Dylan Jones, for the first time, is going to inherit the lead tonight here at Daytona. Championship leader coming into tonight by 9 points. As of right now, he'd be the champion. But the race isn't over yet. They're heading down pit road. The whole What is that? 5 cars in the lead pack. Carl Brown, they're heading your way.
Yeah, they're coming down this time. They're talking about tires this time. The cars are just being extremely tight, so they're going to opt for the right side tires, and they're down and away.
So Witkowski going to beat these guys out. Jones, Brockwell, and Washington. That'll be the order. Dallariva behind those guys. Now Witkowski real good on the apron. We'll see if he can't put some distance in between these guys. But Andy, that's really not a good thing to do here at a track like Daytona.
No, this actually might hurt Witkowski a little bit here. He's not going to get up to speed. By the time these guys get to him, they're going to be 10, 15, 20 miles an hour faster. Then it's going to be even harder for Witkowski to catch the tail end of their draft once they go by. So we'll have to see how this plays out in the next few laps.
Here comes Ross and Lennon. Him Street Rockler went by as well. Now the pack starting to form back up here at Daytona International Speedway. Ross and Lennon, Washington gets into the side of Lennon. Washington went down to the apron. He saves it, but he's in jeopardy of losing the draft.
He's in major jeopardy of losing the draft. However, right in front there is a 20 car. We'll see if he falls back a little bit to maybe catch his teammate, Dylan Brockwell. Now it doesn't look like he's even making an attempt to here as he continues to push Dylan Jones.
Are you kidding me? Looks like Lennon might be falling back. Dallariva's coming up behind these guys. Yep, Lennon's going to fall back. They're going to pick him up. He and Ross going to work together. Lennon knows that he might have made a mistake there. He's going to try his best to get Washington back in the hunt for this championship. Andrew Brandenburg leads that lap. As we are 2/3 of the way complete with this race, he's going to stay out. He's going to lead another lap. He has drafting help from the 88 of Mylan Lacey. Terry, Bounty, they sit second. Remember, both those guys had a mistake on their pit stops a couple of stops ago. Then we go back to fourth with him, Street, Rolo, Witkowski, Jones, Brockwell. Then behind those guys, Andy, it's Ross, Lennon, and Washington in the 3-car pack. Oh, how caution would shake things up.
Oh yeah, get these guys side by side again. Oh, especially this late in the race here, man. 30 to go.
Everybody good on fuel, so that wouldn't be a worry. It's not even a worry now. These guys up here at the front, him, Street, Rolo, Witkowski, Jones, and Brockwell, I think, once everything cycles around, I'm sure Brandenburg, Terry, and Bounty will still have to come in. If these guys can sit out front here, they're going to be able to battle it out for the win here in these final 30 laps. I think Brockwell has ditched Dave Washington. He says, hey, Jones, I'm going to push you to the championship.
I got a new teammate, he says.
Oh, man, they're starting to work on the outside. Jones pulls dead even, or at least side by side, with Rolo down the front straightaway. 5 cars, and 4 of them are side by side.
That they are. 2 rows here, and Corbin M Street looking stout with Mitch Rolo. They've been working together as a team here this whole race, and we talked about Witkowski. He was able to catch on with some guys, and so that pit stop when he came up ahead of him didn't affect him too much here.
That it didn't. As I don't know, Andy. I don't think Lennon
Washington and Ross are going to be able to catch these guys.
Nah, for some reason the draft or the downforce, something going on. Usually, you could be able to really hook up with somebody and really take charge and move. But right now, it's not happening like they want to.
Man, are things shaping up here at Daytona. Brandenburg, Terry, Boundy, that's still the top three. Brandenburg is not by himself, but he is the only lead car by himself. He has the lead. Right at 7 seconds is the gap to second place Brian Terry. Brandenburg has drafting help from the 88 of Mylan Lacey, who is 1 lap down, sitting right dead behind him in position for the lucky dog if we were to have a caution. So we're just going over a couple of stuff, trying to figure out what's going to happen here in the closing stages of this race. I don't know if Brandenburg is going to be able to make it to the end or not, Andy. He's going to be cutting it close. So is Terry and Boundy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how that's going to work for him. I think that puts the lead in the hands of 41, I believe. I think that pack of 5 we're watching are going to be the guys battling for this win here.
Witkowski gets real close to Jones in the tri-oval there. Jones has used a reset. Dave Washington, if he has to pit, he'll use his reset because he made contact with Mitch Lennon. So both of those guys are now on even playing fields as far as resets and if they were to be involved in a collision, which is still possible here in the late stages of this race. These guys are getting real racy. Jones going to be looking for the 4th position at the line. He's going to have it. Rockwell hooked to the rear end of the number 11. These guys trying to tandem up here with these crazy, wicked tight cars. Look at Rollo and Hemstreet. They're going to try and come back on the inside. They're doing just that as they work to the backstretch.
Into turn number 3, they're going to be side by side. Like I said, that might be for the win here, but Dylan Jones running a very smart race here. And right now, where he's sitting, Dave Washington way back in 11, definitely not what Dave Washington needs here when he's trying to win this championship. But side by side at the line, it looks like Dylan Jones is going to have that advantage with a big help from the 20 car.
Now Jones could pull down if he wanted to. Right now he is clear, but he doesn't want to ditch that number 20. Look at Witkowski up on the high side. He says, hey, it's working for you guys. I'll try it as well. But just as he moves up the inside, prevails at Hemstreet. Goes back to the lead. Rollo has to fall off him a little bit. A little overheating for the 90. 11 regains the 4th position down the backstretch.
That he does. Now can he clear him with Dylan Brockwell pushing? Still side by side, Brockwell and Hemstreet. Dylan Jones with a slight advantage as they head off in turn number 4. Right now, side by side for 2 rows deep. Here they come to the line. Dylan Jones still with a slight advantage with a huge push from the 20.
I don't think Brockwell has let off of him in the past 5 laps. These guys, Brockwell's going to be easy not to overheat the car too early because we still got 21 laps to go.
21 to go, but that bottom line still powering itself on that on the bottom, right on that yellow line there. Him Street now rolling out. Three of them now pushing each other. Witowski gives the 99 a little bump, but here comes the bump drafting right now. Mitch Rolo, a great push for that 41. They both pull ahead of Dylan Jones.
That they do, Jones Brockwell. They fall back, but here they come charging again down the front stretch. These guys are really getting racy here as they take 20 to go. Trouble on the track. Mitch Lennon in the 5 is around. Lennon is through the grass, trying to get it going back on the apron. We stay green. Lennon now going to go one lap down.
As our leader, Andrew Hillenberg, or Bradenberg, excuse me, still with the lead. Corbin, or not Corbin, I always get these guys mixed up. I don't know why. Sean Bounty and Brian Terry, they just go by Mitch Lennon. That's for a second and third spot there. But I did hear over the radio about 5 more laps or so till those guys will be on pit road. So ultimately, that should hand the lead back. Well, right now, that handed to the 11th car, Dylan Jones.
Mitch Lennon head to the pits, and now Jones and Brockwell clear Him Street and Rolo. That is crucial for the closing laps of this race once Brandenburg, Terry, and Bounty head to the pits. Now here comes Him Street working the outside. He's got help from Rolo. Witkowski's going to move up there with him as well.
They're going to try right now. Now Mitch Rolo drops to the inside behind Brockwell. He's going to give them help. He leaves his teammate stranded there on the high side. Witkowski now looking to the inside. Hemstreet's going to fall all the way back in 5th in this line.
Might have been a switch between the 99 and the 41, but it was not well executed as Witkowski now going to pull up to the 3rd car in line. Not sure of the position. These guys are, once again, 4th is Dylan Jones, Brockwell is 5th, and Witkowski is 6th. Once these guys cycle around, though, we do believe that this is going to be for the lead. Hemstreet gets into the wall while pushing Mitch Rolo down the backstretch, and Hemstreet could have ended his race right there.
He could have. Mitch Rolo now dropping back to the inside line there. Going to pick up his drafting partner there of Corbin Hemstreet, but Dylan Jones and Dylan Brockwell trying to get away from this pack. Not going to happen. Is Witkowski able to stay with him with a little bit of help from that 99?
Got a nice pack, and back of the pack, I should say, or we should say. Look at James Ross, Chad Osborne, Eric Delariva, Dave Washington, Brian Neff, and Ronnie Kramer. These guys pretty racy back here. That's a 6-car battle for the 9th position. Brian Terry, Sean Bounty are on the pits. Problems for Brian Terry. It has not been his night as far as pit stops go, Carl.
Yeah, coming in, he come in a little hot, trying to get in and out as quickly as possible and just come down and smack the inside wall. His crew is going to have to do a little bit of work on the car and
So, Brandenburg going to stay out another lap as Jones and Brockwell sit second and third. Witkowski is fourth. Rolo fifth, and I think Hemstreet has quite a bit of damage on the 41. Andy, we're closing in on 10 to go. It's almost go time.
Go time. They better get going then. Bradenburg still with the lead. Going to stay out another lap now. He's getting a little bit of a draft there from that 32 car. Probably able to save a little bit of fuel, but the lead's about 5.5 seconds. Oh, I hear he's coming down pit road this time by, so that's going to throw the lead over to Dylan Jones. The guy, Dave Washington, doesn't want to win this race.
Yeah, most definitely. Boy, howdy, we have been clean and green. Well, not necessarily clean. We've had our fair share of incidents. We've been green this whole race. Caution free, and oh my, how a caution would change everything right now. The way these guys are racing, though, I don't think we'll see it. Brandenburg and Lacey head to the pits. Brandenburg gives up the lead. Lacey gives up the lucky dog position, and Dylan Jones is the new leader.
Well, it's going to be 11 laps to go here, Ben, as we hit the line. Dylan Jones with the lead with this help from Brockwell. Still, Witkowski, Rolo, and Hemstreet. That's going to be your top 5 here with 11 laps to go here at Daytona.
Osborne leading the pack behind him, and that'll be 6th. Dalariva 7th. Washington 8th. Neff 9th. Ross is 10th, and Rodney Kramer rounds out that little pack in 11th. Ten to go this time by. If you're Rolo, Hemstreet, or Witkowski, even Dylan Brockwell, when do you step out? When's the time that you got to make your move on Dylan Jones? Because I think with the way these cars are racing tonight, the last lap is too late.
That's right, Ben. It could be too late, but we'll have to see, and only time will tell. 10 to go here at Daytona. Brockwell looking to the outside right there, maybe just to cool his nose off. Witkowski still behind him. Brockwell back behind the bumper of Jones on the head down the backstretch. Now here comes Hemstreet on the outside. He's making a move on the 99 to Mitch Rolo. Side by side they are through 3 and 4. Hemstreet had to run, but not able to make anything do of it. Falls back in line.
I want you to watch Todd Witkowski. I've been watching him these past couple of laps. He's starting to just fall back and then get the run on these guys to see when he needs to make the move. I think Brockwell did the same thing last time around when he caught right up the back bumper of the 11. So these guys starting to practice their moves here as we are on 9 laps to go. 8.5 now down the backstretch.
8.5, Hemstreet look to the outside again. They're off of turn number 2, not going to happen. Falls back in line. Top 5, nose to tails ahead through 3 and 4. Coming to line this time by 8 laps. 8 remaining here at Daytona.
Street continues to pull out to the outside. 7.5 to go down the backstretch. Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to do. He might be trying to get Witkowski or even Blockwell to go up with him. But you'd think that he'd just push Rollo and then try and go around the outside.
That second pack, Ben, not able to even make any type of ground on these guys. Slowly, they're reeling them in, but definitely not enough time here as we start to wind this thing down here.
Yep, and a caution just about at this point would end this race. So it's almost too late for a caution. They're just going to have to settle in for what they have. And for Dave Washington, this has just got to be almost disgusting sitting in the car, knowing that he cannot even get up there and battle for the win.
Yeah, that's in anything, just because the guy who's leading, you're running for this championship. We're at race number 24. Whoa, as Rollo gets a little bit loose off of exit at turn number 2. Leaves the bottom line open for Hemstreet. Hemstreet's going to move himself up one spot. That's for 4th as he gets a good run on Witkowski here as they head to 3.
These front guys starting to close up. They're starting to get racy. They're still tail to nose, but I don't think it'll be long before we start seeing these guys step out, because at the line, you know how many laps we have, Andy? What about you, Carl? How about Cisco? 5 laps to go in the season finale.
How many?
5. Left the ball. He keeps it straight. This time by, it'll be 4 laps to go.
4 laps to go, and so nobody's really ducked out of the line here. Wondering where they're going to make that spot, or where that spot is, if they're going to make the move here to try to get this win away from Jones.
And Witkowski, he might be the odd man out here in that 18. Jones and Brockwell obviously helping each other. Hemstreet, Rollo, teammates. Witkowski, this could benefit him or it could hurt him.
You always got to watch out for that last lap pile up here when guys start getting real dicey here. But no, we're off of turn number 4. Hemstreet still looking all over the place, up, down, left, right, around, trying to get around that 18 car, get up there to the front 2 guys. Dylan Jones going to lead this till 3 to go.
And right now, Andy, we don't have green-white checkers here in iRacing, so realistically, when it comes to 4 to go, we're racing to either the checker or the caution. So if I'm these guys up here at the front, I'd be trying to make my moves now, because if the pack behind them crashes, they're going to end and the race is going to be single file behind the pace car.
Well, most definitely right now. And Hemstreet, I mean, he's the only one really ducking out of line, but he has to fall back in line because Rollo's just not close enough to help him get a push. Dylan show here as they hit the stripe. We got 2 to go, Ben, here in Daytona.
5 miles. Here comes Rollo and Hemstreet. They hook up on the outside. I think it's too late. We'll wait and see. They get the run to the backstretch, but Rollo's not under Hemstreet like he needs to be. Lap traffic for the leaders. Do they catch him before the finish of the race? Hemstreet and Rollo, they try and get hooked up on the outside, but they're not making any ground. Witkowski might be slowing them up as well. This time by, the white flag will fly. 2.5 miles to go at Daytona.
Here they go with the big run on the outside. Here comes Hemstreet. A little bit of a push from the 99. Can they make it stick? If they're going to make it stick, they're going to have to make it 3 wide as they got lap traffic on the high side. That's the 32 of Kevin Ford. Kevin Ford stays real high. They drop back down in the single file line. Here comes Brockwell. Brockwell, he's got a great push from Wachowski. They're going for the lead on the backstretch.
They step out. Jones is just sitting there on the bottom. Here comes Hemstreet to help him through turns 3 and 4. They almost made a little contact. Wachowski goes up the track. Does Jones have enough momentum? Here we go down the front straightaway. Brockwell leads the pack at the line. Dylan Brockwell's gonna do it. He wins the season finale. And Dylan Jones wins the championship. Dave Washington comes home 9th. And he had to finish 9 positions ahead of Dylan Jones if he wanted to win the championship. Brockwell wins, Jones finishes 2nd, wins the championship, and Corbin Hemstreet comes home 3rd. We'll talk to the winner, the champion, in 3rd place right after this.
But now Wyatt Wolf's to the inside. He pushes up a little bit. They're side by side. Elliott with the lead off of turn 2.
And then off of turn 4, Dave Elliott, are you kidding me? He wins here in Charlotte. You know, I taught Tinny. God, my goodness, taught Tinny.
You all right, man?
I'm done.
I think he taught Kenny Baum Jr.
Oh, dear. We are back here at NoBull Network 1, a spectacular finish. And Carl Brown is standing by with 3rd place Corbin Hemstreet, who before the race got prepared by hearing me sing, which what propelled him to this podium position here tonight. Carl Brown.
Yeah, caught up down here with Corbin Hemstreet. Corbin, you are trying your darnest to get past Todd right there at the very end. You know, Mitch Rolo is behind you. It just seemed like y'all gonna get hooked up. Anything you might have wanted to done differently if you could?
I got to go back and watch a lot of replays because, frankly, we just got beat tonight. We came out pits 1st place. They got behind us, but it's really, really, really tough to keep pushing on the outside. That back car on the outside just gets ridiculously tight, so I don't know how they were doing it. I couldn't push Mitch. Mitch couldn't push me. We barely even got a legitimate run on him. We just got beat tonight.
Well, there was a new tire mod that came out today. You think that could have played a big part in you and Mitch not being able to get up there?
Could be the new tire mod. Could be just the setup. I think definitely got to watch a lot of videotape and figure out how we got beat. Come back next season more prepared.
Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. Anybody you'd like to thank for it tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys in the broadcast room, Rick Donathan. Also, I'd like to thank Mitch and Sean Bounty coming on next season to race for us. Teammates are always really important at Daytona, but also everywhere, and we're going to make a good run at the championship next season for sure.
All right, well, that was Corbin Hemstreet. I believe Ben Kilcrease is caught up with tonight's winner, Dylan Brockwell, down there in Victory Lane.
Down here in Victory Lane, soaked in Gatorade, Coke, Pepsi, and however many other companies we can get sued by. Here we go, Dylan Brockwell, you are the winner here in the season finale. 56 1,000ths of a second is what separated you and Jones there at the line. Walk us through what was going through your mind on that final lap.
Yeah, coming down the backstretch, I made the move to go out, and I was just hoping somebody come with me, and Todd there followed through and helped me push me to the win there.
And about midway through the race, sorry about that, Dave Washington had a little contact with Mitch Lennon, fell back. You didn't fall back to pick him up. We was really surprised about that because you guys just worked so well together. Was that a strategy? Did he just tell you to go on, or did you choose for yourself just to go on there?
It was a little bit of both. When Mitch got into Dave, he said his car was tore up pretty bad. So at that point, I could either he pretty much told me his race was done. So we salvaged one car, and obviously it paid off, which is great. And yeah, that sucks for him. That's rough on the last race.
Yeah, we gotta ask. You are his teammate. How's the mood as far as Dave back there in the garage?
He's pretty beat up about it, but I don't blame him. I mean, I think anybody here who is going with the chance of the championship on the last race that something dumb like that happens to be shaken up about. But he's Dave, and he'll recoup and revive and win more races and championships. There's no problem about that.
Anyway, well, we'll turn the attention away from Dave. Back to you. You're the winner here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. Who do you want to thank for putting you here?
First off, I got to thank Dave and Team Elite. We had a great season. I think second, fourth, and Eric was up there in the chase too. Just an awesome team. Work together every week and work well. I want to congratulate Jones and thank y'all in the broadcast booth for doing what y'all do too.
You're certainly welcome, and we look forward to seeing you next season in the Cup Series and all the divisions here at NoBull.
Thank you, bud.
Dylan Brockwell winner tonight here at Daytona International Speedway. Now we're going to talk to the champion who is going to be taking home a blown motor after he has done burnouts throughout the course here at Daytona. He done it on the oval, he moved to the infield, he went through the camper parking, and he is now parked behind some campers there. Andy Kessler chasing him down. Andy, does he got a big smile on his face or what?
Yeah, I'd say a little bit, Ben. Dylan Jones here with me. I was having trouble keeping up with him with the golf cart until his motor started going, but I was able to catch up to him now. Dylan, third straight Cup championship. We'll say about 4 seasons ago, coming into the series. We talked about this in the past with you, and kind of a learning experience of the longer races and how to drive the cars. Some guys taking you under your wings, namely the guy you've been racing for the championship last few seasons, Dave Washington, and all this hard work and all this perseverance. This is paying off here. Third straight championship for you in the Cup Series.
Oh yeah, it feels great. When I first came here, I was always a pretty good driver, but all the competition here, Dave and everyone else, just put me up to the next level, and it's great to be at this point right now.
That it is. You obviously wanted to win the race. Who doesn't want to win the race? You came up just short here tonight, knowing that you're the guy you were running with for this championship had some issues there late in the race. Did the nerves start kicking in? Like you just don't want to mess this thing up. Got to make it to the end. Got to make it to lap 90.
Yeah, like I said at the start of the race, I didn't really plan on running up towards the front, but when you're at Daytona, your plans usually end up out the window at one point or another. And we were up there battling, and I figured Brock was going to make a move, and no one would go with me, so I just figured to let it go and not wreck the field and wreck my chances.
Yeah, that's the last thing you wanted to do there. But, man, I'll tell you what, a long time coming. The last 3 seasons, congratulations on your 3rd straight championship. Lots of wins, lots of top 5s, 10s. They're all piling up for you here in the Cup Series. You're doing a heck of a job, and, man, you're the guy to beat, and they're all going to be gunning for you here next season.
It's always great at top of the mountain until you get knocked down. We'll go out there tomorrow and try and see what we can do in that truck race, and maybe we can get 3 championships this year. Yeah.
There you go. You had the trifecta. I believe it was last season there, winning all 3 championships. So, yeah, you got yourself a good race to go to tomorrow. Real tight battle on the trucks. So don't get too messed up here tonight. And you want to be able to make it to the track at Homestead, right down the road here to finish out the trucks.
Yeah, I'll be down here partying with all my peeps in the infield down here. They can all have a piece of my car since it's junk now.
Oh, there you go. Well, congratulations, Dylan, your 3rd straight championship. Anyone you'd like to thank for this season, for the championship, and I guess for getting it all done?
Just everyone at NoBull, all the admins, Rick, Dave, Ben, you guys up there in the booth putting it on, and want to thank Terry for helping me out at the beginning of the race, or I might have been screwed.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, Dylan. A great season, a long season, the longest season in Cup Series history here at NoBull. Able to get it done, and we definitely congratulate you from everybody here at the network and on your great run. And congratulations, and we'll see if you can keep it going here next season.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
There he is, Ben, your champion, 3-time, Mr. 3-time. We'll call him that. 3 in a row there for Dylan.
3-time.
Dylan Jones. Fantastic job all season long. Just consistency paid off for him. Top 10s, top 5s. Of course, all the wins. He was tied with wins up until about 5 minutes ago when Dylan Brockwell got his 6th of the season. So other than that, Dylan Jones, man, just a solid season, and a season that, with the Cup Series, with all the changes and all the add-ons and the new drivers and the long season, he was still able to persevere. The cream rises to the top.
With the same goal in mind to win the championship in the trucks, and that'll be live right here on NoBull Network 1. We encourage you to tune into that. But right now, let's look at the final finishing results from tonight. Dylan Brockwell, of course, went home with a win. Dylan Jones, 2nd, and a championship to him. Corbin Hemstreet came home 3rd. Tom Witkowski was 4th. Mitch Rollo was 5th. Eric Dalla Riva salvaged a 6th spot. Chad Osborne came home 7th. James Ross was 8th. Dave Washington 10th. And Brian Neff rounded out the top. Washington was 9th. And Brian Neff rounded out the top 10.
Coming home 11th in that 6 car was Rodney Kramer. 12th to Sean Bowney. Andrew Bredenberg finished 13th. Brian Terry 14th. Kevin Ford, disappointing night for him after a strong early run. He finishes 15th. Mylon Lacey will come home 16th. Mitch Lennon running up front there, having problems late. He'll finish 17th. Ryan Libby having some issues early on. He will round out the field in 18th place here tonight.
All in all, we had our dull moments tonight, where the race got spread out. But when it came down to the end, when it came down to go time, these guys were on it, and it proved for yet again another exciting finish here in the Cup Series in our season finale. Andy, do you have any final closing statements before we head to the Truck Series season finale?
Oh, I think, we got to stay in sunny Florida for another day, but I think these guys put on a heck of a show all season long. I give them a lot of credit. It was a very, very long season, very grueling. Things are going to change a little bit shorter next season, only once a week for these guys, so we'll see. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a difference, but it'll definitely be a short season next year, which in turn might make the racing that much more competitive because you don't have much time to get it done.
Certainly could be. I can't wait. Next season coming up here pretty shortly. It's around the corner and we'll be here before you know it. Carl Brown was covering the action down on pit road. He's going to be the flag man here momentarily at Richmond International Speedway. Andy Kessler getting set to do battle with Mylan Lacey in race number 1 of the Backmarker Tour. For Cisco Scaramuza, Andy Kessler, Carl Brown, I am Ben Kilcrease. We will see you here in a couple of minutes for the Backmarker Tour. If you don't tune in for that, we'll see you tomorrow. If you don't tune in tomorrow, we'll see you Thursday for the Cancer Freeze 200. Once again, for all of us here, I'm Ben Kilcrease. Have a great night, and remember to put the phone down.